Lewis. Welcome to Calvin's Got Game. I'm Calvin.
I'm Lewis.
Hey, Lewis, how you doing today?
Oh, I don't know. It depends how we're going to end this one.
We're going to do great. Guys, we're doing a video today called 10 Things to Consider Before Getting into Board Gaming. To the board gaming hobby.
Yes.
So before we get started with our list of, Lewis has got 5 things, I got 5 things, and we'll talk about them, discuss them. This video may go a little long because we may have a little bit more to say.
Yes.
I hope not, but we'll see. All right, before we get started, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, hit the bell for notifications. Guys, we need 24 more people to join our lovely family of folks and friends to be able to give away a board game to one of our wonderful subscribers. And it will be only to those available to those in the contiguous 48 states. I always want to say continental 48 states. That doesn't make sense. But anyway, I appreciate everybody who subscribed. Thank you for hanging in there with us. I know we've been kind of shabby on some videos lately, but we're back. We're trying to do them as quickly as possible. This is not our main job.
Right.
And life does get in the way. So, without further ado, Lewis. You want to start us out on one of your things. These are in no particular order. They're just things we wish you need to consider before getting into the hobby.
And like Kevin said, in no particular order. I'm just going to go from what my wife put 1 through 5.
Yeah, he's going to do 5. I'm going to do 5. You'll get 10 wonderful tips about getting into board gaming. Hopefully.
Now,
I can't speak for Lewis's, but mine are good.
My first one is replayability of the game.
Okay.
Is the game going to be replayable and so much that you want it in your library of board games? There are some games that they go through a book, you put stickers on, and as soon as you finish the gameplay on that whole game, it's done. Mm-hmm. And it's just now sitting on your shelf there. And yes, you want to play it again, but you already put everything out in the game. So the replayability of it is very low on there. Or the replayability is so high because the stack of cards, let's say just cards play in the game, like Ark Nova, one of my games that I like to play, they add, it's like 300 cards in there, and with the expansion set, the replayability of it is in the middle. Well, 300 cards, yes, but you have boards that uses them, and the combinations kind of not fit depending on what you draw. Or then you have games that are high replayability because of player count on there, and how it's played with folks other than yourself. Wingspan, the expansions on that just adds more and more cards, but they also came out with more different ways to play the game, and that adds replayability on that game too. So replayability of the game, look at it, see how you can use Board Game Geek. Board Game Geek it's a wonderful resource.
It is.
Has comments on how folks think of replayability of the board game, the pros and cons of it. But before you buy it, I always suggest try to play it yourself, either on Board Game Arena, if you have access to it, or your local board game store. A lot of board game stores have a library you can go in and...
Are we going into replayability, or are we talking about try before you buy, Lewis?
Yeah,
which one are we doing?
Both. But,
okay.
But we play it. If you see a game that you have played, play it again on there. So yeah, replayability, play it several times.
The way I look at that, Lewis, is value to replayability. You know, is it worth the value to not have it replayable? Mm-hmm. Because I've played some exit games. I have some campaign style games or legacy games where you put stickers aboard. I thought the value to replayability was high for me, and I knew once I got done with it, I wasn't going to be able to play it again. But the enjoyment that I had playing it the 20 something times or 18 times that I played it, it was valuable enough for me.
Right.
I get what you're saying. You want the game to be replayable. I just recently figured this for one of my games. So let's say I bought the game for $50, right? And I played it 20 times, right? Or more. Let's say 25 times. Well, you're paying $2 per play.
Per play, yes.
You can't go to the movies for $2. You can't go out to eat for $2. So the enjoyment and replayability you get of the game, does that value work out for you? That's the way I look at it.
And that's a good way to look at it too.
Yeah.
That's one way to look at it. Another way to look at replayability is how often can you get it to the table?
Yeah.
How often is it player count, which is something else.
Right.
Player count, the setup time, the takeout time, which is another thing to think about. Which our top 100, we had to think about that.
Sure.
Setup time, get it to the table.
Sure.
There's many variables in replayability game. I just really try to consent one thing on there, because you're going to spend money. Like I have spent the most on one game, Descent, Legends of the Dark, $200
Yeah.
on there, but the replayability on it is very, very high. It's going to pay itself off in the long run.
Sure. Of time you spend with it and the fun you have out of it. Exactly.
Yes, and I do agree on that, because those two sets, and they're talking about bringing out Act 3. It's going to be spending $400 for 3 big boxes. But the components, though. But that's something later.
Yeah, we'll talk about that later.
Yeah, later.
All right.
I'm getting rambling.
All right. So mine is, you don't have to buy. This is my tip for you. You don't have to buy every game.
No.
If you know somebody who owns the game, if you can play it at a local game store, go there and play it. Now, if you really love the game and you want to share it with friends who don't go to the game store with you, or you have family that just come over and play games, that's great. Buy it. But you don't have to own every game. When you come into this hobby, you're like, I'll pick up a few games here or there, right? But at some point, you become a collector. So you got to stay within becoming a hobbyist and becoming a collector. So you don't have to buy every game. Just because Lewis has a game that I enjoy, I may not want to go out and buy it because I know Lewis has it, and all I can do is say, hey, Lewis, bring that game next time you come to game night, or you come here over, and we'll play it, right? So that's one of my tips for you, things to consider, is you don't have to buy every game.
But it's hard to do it.
It is hard because there's a lot of games that I go, wow, I really like this game, and I don't want to wait for Lewis to come over. I want it myself. Or I don't want to go to the game store and play it. I want to play it here. So you have to weigh that, but being a hobbyist and a collector can become a problem.
Yes, and you got to find that fine line of that, because you'll find a girl board game. I mean, that's gonna be just buying the.
Well, I pick and choose which ones I want to buy. I don't buy all of them. I pick and choose which ones I think I would enjoy the most, and I think that's where you have to look at. Don't buy every game.
My next one, what I think about getting into the hobby is making mistakes when you read the game book.
Oh, when you read the rules.
And read the rules. It's okay to make a mistake. When you first get that game and reading, then try to explain somebody the rules, you're going to make a mistake. Even if you played it by yourself and then try to explain it, there are going to be rules that you're going to forget. You're going to misread something. And then you get somebody else playing with you and going to be, hey, what about, I think it meant this way. And you go, oh, yes. So it's okay to make an error in the game. And if you're halfway to the game, you can make a contestant. Say, do you want to fix it now? Or go play with the rest of it, and next time play it the correct way.
Exactly.
Just ask the group, because mistakes will be made from new games, and it's games that are older that you probably played 2 years ago, and you know how to play it, but then you bring it back out and go, I know this, and you realize, wait a minute, I think I played that wrong there. So it is okay to make a mistake. And if somebody gets upset, I'm sorry. We all make mistakes. We grow from mistakes. I believe that if you make a mistake, you grow from it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's okay to make a mistake. Don't be so, I made a mistake. I need to correct it. What are they going to think about me? It's fine. Make the mistake, grow from it, and try.
I don't think I've ever played a new game that I get that I don't make a mistake in. And how many people has made the mistake of Monopoly?
Yeah.
That when you land on a property and the person that landed on it doesn't want to buy it, what are you supposed to do with it?
It goes up to auction.
That's right. But how many people truly do that?
Nobody.
They just pass on it, right?
Yeah, definitely.
And so you got to read the rules. You got to understand them. And thank goodness in today's society, we have YouTube folks that can teach you games. And there's a lot of great ones out there that do it. I watch Paul Darcy a lot. He does a great job. He plays episodes of games. He only plays one round per episode, which is great. And if he does make a mistake, he puts on the screen what he made and he fixes it and it goes on. So I'm with you, Lewis. It's okay to make a mistake in a game. And it's okay to ask everybody, hey, I know this is not the way to do it properly, but since we've been doing it this way, we don't want to cheat anybody else out of the opportunity to do it easier or whatever. Let's just play the game this way and next time we'll correct it.
Yeah.
So I think that's a great way to do that. All right, my next little tip here is crowdfunding. There's Kickstarter, there's GameFound, there's some other ones out there. I don't know what they are, but those are the two that I know of. And let me tell you, you can go down a rabbit hole with crowdfunding. Crowdfunding, you don't have to fund every game that comes up that you think you want. First of all, you've never played it. You don't know anything about it. You don't have to buy the deluxeified version of the game that they're trying to push on the Kickstarters and the games. I'm not saying if you really want them, to buy them, that's fine. But it's okay to just get the core box. Yes. It's okay to get the cardboard chits and tokens. It's okay not to have the metal coins. It's okay. Everybody's still going to like the game just fine because the game should stand on its own without having all the upgraded bits. So when you're doing crowdfunding, make sure you're going to like the game. Make sure that it sounds like something you really want before you invest money in it, because you can go down a rabbit hole of buying games on Kickstarter or GameFound or others, and it can be very expensive. So that's just a little tip to watch your pocket, make sure your budget is there, and don't over budget yourself.
Yeah, and you tell the truth there. You have done more Kickstarter's crowdfunding than I have. I think I have only done 3.
I've done a few more than that, but I haven't done probably more than 10. And it's still, it's expensive, especially with shipping now.
Oh, yeah.
And it's expensive to buy all those other things. Now, above and below, I think Ryan Lockett did a great job with his campaign for it, because all the extras came as goals. So all the extra, you didn't have to, you just bought the game, and if they met all the stretch goals, you got that stuff.
Yes.
That's a perfect way to run a campaign. If you're going to do that, that's great. If you're going to put a box out and just say, hey, you get all the cardboard stuff, but if you'll pay $100 more, you can have da-da-da-da-da. Well, and then you'll still get the stretch goal stuff, but the stretch goal stuff is not that great. It's just a little card here or there. So I think Ryan Lockett did a great job on his campaign, and that's why I backed it. And I trust Red Raven Games, and so I was more than willing to back their product. So that's just a little tidbit. Watch your crowdfunding and watch your pocketbook, that you stay within your budget that you have, because it can become expensive.
Yeah, a lot of folks don't realize. I had to read up on this as I would do the crowdfunding or Kickstarter, that this is not a guarantee. It's not a guarantee.
No, there's some that's backed out and never published the game, but hopefully some, and they just take your money. Some of them.
Yeah, so, some of them just will take your money. So it's kind of little risk taken there on the crowdfunding. Kickstarter is a little bit less on that, but on that, not saying anything against crowdfunding, but folks need to understand that this is You're giving money out for helping somebody
to put a game together.
Put a game together. And they're going to be, forgot the two guys we know, Dinosaur Game.
Oh, Bluegill Games.
Yeah, Bluegill Games. Yeah, we know the guys. We have helped them test their games out. So we trust them on how they put out their stuff. Now, have they tried some other games and never made it out? Yes, they have. Little rocket game. I forgot what that was.
I didn't back that one. I didn't know anything about that one.
Well, it never made it.
Never made it to crowdfunding?
No, never made it. But it was interesting game, but I could see there was holes to fill in there, and I think they never finally got something together on there. My next one is called House Rules Are Okay, and make them.
Absolutely.
Make them. Well, house rules is breaking the game. No, it's not. No, it's not. House rules are designed to make the game easier for individuals that just don't get the concept of it. House rules are designed to make the game run smoother, that the creators just didn't have the concept of it, that maybe this would have happened if this scenario happened. Because there's games that out there that, this will never end up in a tie. Well, guess what? It ended up in a tie. What do we do? Let's look. There's no answer here. Okay, house rule is going to be happening. One of the biggest house rules I know of is of course Monopoly, landing in the free parking.
Free parking.
Yes,
and I absolutely hate that house rule because it makes the game go too long.
Yes, I don't like it either. But there was hundreds and thousands of folks that make that house rule. I'm going, why?
Yeah, it just makes the game too long.
But yeah, house rules, depending on the game, depending on the difficulty of it on the game, it's okay to make a house rule. You once again, go Board Game Geek. There's a section called Weight, which Kevin's going to talk about that terminology in a moment, I believe. Did you get no?
Nope, didn't do that one.
They don't know. Okay, I'm sorry. Well, it's how difficult it is on your mind. Well, if it's it goes 1 to 5. It's way up to 4. I think 3 or 4 is put in.
3. Usually like a 3.8 or something on up is pretty high.
Pretty high. And you want to induce this game to somebody you know that like that kind of theme of game. House rule something. Make it easier for them until they get the rules down and know how everything works. Then, okay, house rule out the window. We're gonna play it this way. But yes, house rules are great to have for introducing somebody new to board gaming on a game that you think they might like, or make it easier for a younger group, because some kids that younger, not kids, but younger folks that just are not used to these new board games, probably won't get the concept so quick. They're used to chess, checkers, Monopoly, Chutes and Ladders, Clue. So make some house rules, get them used to it. Then, okay, let's put big pants on, and we're gonna be doing it correctly. So that one, house rules are okay to make.
And there's one game that I have, Betrayal at House on the Hill. I make house rules all the time for it because it can be, some of those scenarios can be very daunting for the haunter, especially if they're new to the game. So we make a house rule because we don't always follow who has to be the betrayer.
Right.
So we can house rule, hey, make the most experienced person be the betrayer.
Yes.
That way, the other folks around the table can help the new person understand how to survive the game instead of being the betrayer and not understand a word they're reading in that book, because it is, some of those scenarios are very complicated. So that's a good one, Lewis. House rules are okay. My next one is, and you kind of touched on this during your replayability thing. Mine is try before you buy.
Right.
So the try before you buy is some sound advice, because now also I listen to some content creators of board games that said this certain game was fantastic, one of their favorite games of all time. It had a seal of approval, and I got it, and this game was not for me. What I should have done was went and tried it somewhere first, either at a local game store or find someone that owns it in your game group and play it with them. I did not like the game. I got rid of the game very quickly. I bought it and I got rid of it very quickly. I did not like the concept of it. There was some bluffing in it, lying, and things of that nature. I just didn't enjoy the game. So, if you know what the game that might be, put it in the comments. I'll let you know whether you're right or not. But don't always listen to content creators telling you that a game is fantastic. Try it for yourself, because you need to know whether that's going to be for you or not. So that's my thing. And don't take mine and Lewis's word for it. We play games that we think are fantastic and other people think, and there's games that are fantastic that other people love that I don't.
Yeah, me too.
And that Lewis doesn't. So find those games that you enjoy, try them, and then buy them.
Yeah.
That way your collection don't grow to an enormous deal, and you got games that you never play that sit on your shelf, and then you discover nobody else wants them things either.
Right. One game that is very popular, Catan. I know folks even get upset if you mispronounce it.
Settlers of Catan.
And nothing wrong with that game, but it's a game that just, it don't sit right with me, and it would never enter my library.
Well, the thing is, Lewis, it is an older game.
Yes.
And it was one of the very first Euro games that came over here and got people into the board gaming hobby.
Yes.
So I think that it has its place in history.
It does.
For sure. But it's been on TV shows like, The Big Bang Theory and other things. But I'm not a fan of Catan either. And so, but people love it, and it has its credentials for sure, and it has its accolades, which it's well deserved of. Mm-hmm. So, but try before you buy.
Yes, please do. My things I look for is the quality of the components.
Okay.
Quality of the components. I mentioned earlier, Descent, Legends of the Dark, or Legends of the Betrayal. It's both Act 1, Act 2. I have shelled out over $200 on these games. One was gifted to me, which I was very thankful for that. But the other one, $200. It only reason is because of the components. The components are well done on the figures. The cardboard pieces are sturdy on there. The player boards, very artistic. Could be a little bit more thicker, yes, but that's a little thing. Look at the components on when you buying a board game, getting into these hobbies. You might like the game, really want the game, but you look at the component going, ugh, in my house, that's going to get torn up. Mm-hmm. And, well, my buddy has it. His house doesn't have those issues that might get torn up. I'll play with my buddy on there. When you sell out money for these games, components, it should be a priority of choosing the game. Yes, you might like it, but are they going to keep up the replayability of it, the handling of it, the transport of it? So, yes, there's coming out new things to hold everything together. You can buy sleeves for cards, but still the replayability, the handling of it, the components is a major thing you have to look on this. And lastly, would it make a presence on the table? Mm-hmm. With that presence of the components, so somebody away from it, or they look at it going, you know what, that looks very, very interesting. I might not like the game, but I would like to try it. Mm-hmm. Which Windward, the game we're still trying to figure out, has a great presence on the board. A great presence. So yeah, quality of the components, it needs to be looked at when purchasing board games.
All right, my next one is and I wish somebody would have told me this before I got into gaming, because I bought a lot of games that didn't fit my... of course, I didn't know either. So find mechanics of a game that you like. Find mechanics that you like. There's multiple mechanics. You can go on BGG and learn about all the different mechanics in board games. There's worker placement, drafting, tableau building. There's card shedding games. There's deck building. There's all sorts of mechanics. So find the theme mechanics that you like. Buy those board games. I have a lot of board games that I found out afterwards I wasn't a fan of the mechanics in the game. I have a lot of roll and write games. I'm not a huge fan of roll and write, but my wife really likes them, so we play a lot of them. And I buy them because I want to play games with her, so we definitely buy them. It's not a mechanic I seek out, but I did learn early on that I liked worker placement. I like deck building. I'm not a fan of bidding games or bluffing games. I'm not a fan of those either. So find the mechanics in games that you like. So if you play a game and you play it, ask the person you play with, what are these mechanics called? How, most of the time you'll know. If you're a board gamer, you'll know. But if you're not and you're new to the hobby, ask them, hey, what is this mechanic called in this game? Then you can go look on BGG and find those games that share those mechanics, and you more than likely will like those games. Not saying you will, but it goes back to try before you buy as well. But look for the mechanics and the themes that appeal to you. If not, you'll be buying games out there that you may or may not want, and they'll sit on your shelf and rot. Or you'll try to have to get rid of them or trade them off or sell them or whatever. So I wish somebody would have told me there's so many mechanics out there of games, mechanisms, and mechanics that you should look at. And I wish somebody would have told me that before I got into board gaming, so I could go, ooh, I like Rondell. I like the Rondell circle movement of choosing what I want. I like the catch-up mechanism of being last, you get to go first. And as long as you stay behind everybody else, you continue to go. I like that. And I like worker placement. I like deck building. I like those things. So those kind of games that have those, I tend to enjoy. So make sure you're looking at the mechanics of the game to make sure that you like them and find out which ones you do like.
Yes. Great question. Great category right there of understanding the mechanics. Because when I first got into board gaming, it was not much mechanics out there. Nowadays,
a lot of roll and move back in the day, or spin and move, or play a card to move. Candyland. But for Candyland, it was pretty innovative.
It was. It was.
I got to give them kudos for not rolling a die.
Yes. Or even the old Pac-Man that you have to roll a die, and then the ghost had cards to move on there, which some folks have tried to stack the cards.
Cheater!
My last one is actually, you can get in trouble for this. Because you can go in a big rabbit hole in this one.
Oh, you can get in trouble that way. I thought maybe we were getting locked up.
No. Buying the expansion packs.
Well, you talked a lot about expansions, Lewis, and you're the king of expansions.
I am. I do buy expansions, but I have recently, which in the past couple of years, realized that, look at the expansion. Would they make the board game more playable? More replayable? That should be the word. More replayable. Not every board game needs its expansion. It doesn't. Arc Nova. It had one little issue, that going through all those cards in that little stat, because at the end of each round, 2 cards goes away, and nobody buys anything, everything just shifts down. It took a while to go see those cards. But the expansion had a little symbol on the code with a wave. If that thing appears, everything even if before the end of the round, shifts away. So it allowed to more cards be more dealt out more. So more visual ability to see more cards during each game. That's a good expansion. Some other expansions just add more parts to it. I have right here Everdell. Great game. But even the creators themselves has in a note in one of the rule books that do not play all expansions with the core game. Do not. And when the developers say that do not play with all the expansions, they know. Me and Christine decided to put them all out. We realized, no.
It's too much.
Too much. So it can be too much. Some expansion is just a different game. Ticket to Ride, many expansions, but each one is a different game.
It's a standalone game. Their expansions most of the time are standalone.
Yeah, standalone. So you don't need every different game of Ticket to Ride. Nothing wrong with Ticket to Ride, but I'm not going to just too many variations of that. Catan, another game that's been expansion over. I think the 8 major ones, then you have a little bit diversity from those 8 major ones. That's a lot. Yeah. That's a lot. Wingspan has 3 expansions, 4th on its way. It's going to be bringing more cards. Now, are you ever going to go through all those cards? No. Do you need those expansions? Not really. Now, I do previous video. I have the Asian version, which is made it solo, officially solo or co-op. Not co-op, but 2-player. That one is not bad. And you can combine that one to get more priority at the main game. But still, expansions, buying if makes the game to flow better or enhance the game better. Like a Legends of the Dark, Act 1 is one game. Act 2 adds more components, more storyline. It keeps it going. Your Final Girl.
Yeah, Final Girl, yeah.
It keeps the story going. If it keeps the story going, the game going, go ahead. But if it just has nice little bells and whistles, I will skip it. I'll skip it myself. I'm there. But that's my 5th thing I look for.
I like that one, Lewis. I usually don't buy expansions. There are a few games I have expansions for, but it's like you say, I want to continue on with the story. There's one that I love, Eldritch Horror, and there's small box expansions that only add more stuff to the core game.
Right.
Gives you more things so you don't see everything in 3 or 4 plays. You have more stuff. But then they have large box expansions that add extra boards and extra rules. I don't need those.
No.
I enjoy the base game. I just need more cards.
Right.
So if it's adding more cards, I'm happy. But don't give me an expansion that adds complicated rules. I don't want that. Now, if the game's a standalone game expansion, I'll buy that. Yeah. Like Everdell Farshore, it's a standalone game.
Yes.
Legends of Andor has some standalone games.
Yes.
I'll buy those. And each of your Final Girls are standalone games.
Yes.
I'll buy those. I just don't want an expansion to make the game more complicated. I bought the game and loved the game for what it was. Don't make it complicated.
No. Dominion.
Yeah.
Dominion. All those cards, it makes the game better.
Yeah, it does. It does.
So, yes. It's... Now, the pandemics, each one is standalone games.
Yep, and different.
And different. So, yes, you don't need, unless, like I said, unless it makes the game easier or adds a chapter to it, go ahead. Yeah. Other than that, my personal opinion, it can wait.
Yeah. All right, my last one, and I hope these tips are helping. I hope these tips help you in some way. It's okay not to have the newest games.
But I like the newest
stuff. I don't give a crap, Lewis. My thing is, we get in the habit of being the cult of the new.
Yes.
We want the newest, hottest games. And a lot of video or a lot of board game reviewers and content creators, they do a lot of board games that are new because they come out and then they get to review them. There's a lot of older games out there that are fantastic, and you're missing out. You're missing out on some wonderful games because you want the newest. Now, as I'm talking about that, I got one of the newest games right back here, but I got that one because I own Above and Below too, and it's been 10 years since they put anything else out. I think Above and Below was like 2015. So I got the Above and Below Haunted, which is a fantastic game by Ryan Lockett and Red Raven Games, because I already knew I loved Above and Below, and they really didn't change a whole lot in Above and Below Haunted. They just added a couple things, and the rules were not difficult to do. So I did buy that one. But anyway.
And you're right, 2015.
I know I'm right, Lewis. Why you got to tell me? No,
I'm just saying. You hate that look.
I think I was right. All right. But guys, you don't have to go after the newest games. You don't have to have the 2025 games, 2024, 2026. Go back here and look at some of the 2019s, the 2020s. You're going to find some games that you'll go, wow, I've been missing out. And I guarantee you'll enjoy them just as much as you will a brand new 2025 game. You don't have to have the newest games that come out. So that's my take on that. And you'll save yourself some heartache. And because if you continue to add new games to your collection, you're always going to be behind because there's 1,000 games that come out every year or more.
I do have one exception to that.
I don't hear your exception. No, go ahead.
If they bring out an updated version.
And see, don't get me started with updated versions.
Well, no.
Because I will get mad.
No, when I say updated version, it's not changing the game. It is like Yokohama.
Oh, I know what you're saying.
Yeah.
They made a new version, and that's fine. If you like Yokohama and you have the old version and you want the newer version, that's fine. I mean, I don't have a problem with that. But I'm talking about always going after the newest games.
Yes.
Always. And not giving the older games a shot.
Yeah.
That bothers me.
I never had the older one, but the newer one, they did correct it. One of the things, the holding of the resources on your board.
But that's you buying a game that you know you're going to like. And it was newer. But I'm talking about just buying new games because they're coming out.
Right.
Don't do that. Make sure you're going to like them. Make sure it fits your mechanisms you like. There's a lot of things on this list. Make sure that you're going to enjoy the game before you just go out there and start buying new games. Look for some of them old games. I think you'll enjoy them. And on our channel, you'll see a lot of older games because I own a lot of the older games. I enjoy the older games. And I do have some new stuff. I keep pointing at that game, man. I absolutely love that game. But anyway, guys, that's the tips we got. I hope that they're helpful. I hope you'd enjoy them. If you got some tips and stuff that you'd like to jump in there, put them in the comments. I'd love to hear them, and we'll mention them on the next video.
Yes.
Promise. Boy, how do you do the Boy Scout thing? Oh, okay. I was never a Boy Scout.
Neither on what side, but I know it.
I don't know. I was trying to do the Star Trek thing, right?
Live long and
prosper.
Yeah. Yes.
All right, guys. We're going off in the deep end. We need 26 more.
No, 24.
24 more subscribers. Close enough. Give me 26. That'd be great, too. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that bell for notifications. Hit the thumbs up. And we'd love to hear from you. So if you want to put something in the comments, we'd love it. Thank you so much for watching Calvin's Got Gaming. Remember, get a board game to the table. Spend time with your friends and family. And I thank you for watching Calvin's Got Game.